Welcome to the Go Slow to Go Fast Lifestyle Podcast, the space where we breathe deeply, live more intentionally, and find meaning in the messy middle of life. I'm your host, Kendra Chapman, mom of triplets, busy professional, caffeine lover, and a big believer in slowing down so we can show up fully. If you're a busy human navigating career, parenthood, midlife changes, or all of the above, you are in good company. Around here, we don't chase perfection. We build rhythms that support peace, clarity, joy, and what I like to say, my word for 2025, Hygge. Today's episode is about something that we often overlook in our hustle-driven culture: rest and recovery as a form of strength. Slowing down isn't weakness, it's wisdom. It's a radical, restorative, and revolutionary power move, especially now as school winds down and summer begins across the Northern Hemisphere. This is your gentle reminder that rest is the real work. And if you are in the Southern Hemisphere, then you are heading into winter from fall. And so that is going to be a time for you to rest and not push like it is summer. For my fellow educators, summer break isn't just a perk, it's a necessity. It's time to recalibrate your nervous system, restore your mind, and allow your body to recover from the school year. That sprint that we all do for 9 months. And I'm excited to share that in the coming weeks, I'll be incorporating interviews with fascinating people who have power strategies around the Go Slow to Go Fast approach. These guests will bring fresh perspectives and real-life tools to support your journey through more intentional living. So let me know what you think. And if you want to have more guest interviews or a blend of my solo episodes and interviews, I'd love to hear your feedback. You can message me anytime or drop a note in the comments. I'll make sure I have all my contact information in the show notes. So whether you're listening on your morning walk or getting those last minute grades into the grade book so they can be processed and sent home on the last day of school, or you're finally relaxing and sipping coffee or a warm drink without that bell schedule dictating your next move, this moment is just for you. Take a breath, let the world slow down for a minute, and let's get started. All right, everybody, welcome back. If you have been listening to this podcast and you are subscribing and listening on a regular basis, thank you for being here. If you are new, welcome. I'm so excited that you're here, and I hope that you get something out of this podcast episode. So for this week, I'm going to be talking about what's bringing me Hygge. And Hygge is that Danish concept that means coziness and contentment. And it's, truly what makes me feel safe and grounded. And it is my word for the year of 2025. So in every episode, generally speaking, I'm probably not going to do it necessarily in my interview episodes, but in my solo episodes, I'm going to talk about what's bringing me Hygge each week. And so for this week, Hygge is deep sleep for me. Like the kind of sleep where you wake up and you remember your dreams type of sleep. And that hasn't happened to me in a long time. Recently, I've let go of the 5 a.m. alarm and let my body just wake up on its own with the sun. And that has not happened in a while. And I've felt more like myself, so much so that I haven't even put makeup on in the last couple of days. That's when you know that your skin is brighter and clearer. And honestly, I look more rested than I have in months. So a little time in the garden, some sunshine, fresh air, and naps. I've been indulging this week, and it's like I'm slowly returning to myself. And this deep rest has been a mirror for me, showing me how I've depleted my energy and my vitality. And I really need to be thinking more about what I can do to add sleep into my daily regimen more, right? Because when we let our bodies fully rest, We make space for our souls to speak again through dreams and stillness and those quiet moments of joy that just can't be manufactured. So if you have not been sleeping or making sleep a priority, consider doing that today. Think about ways that you can shut your day down earlier, turn off those screens earlier, and really think about your sleep hygiene and how you can build that time back into your schedule so you have more sleep and better days. So, in my second segment, my Hygge highlight, I'm going to be talking about the power of slowing down and resting well. So let's talk about real rest. Not the kind where you're technically off, but still worrying and scrolling or mentally organizing your to-do list for tomorrow. I'm talking about the mindset shift that happens when we stop seeing rest as a reward, right? I'm just going to get one more thing done and then I'll go to bed. Or, I'm going to make sure that I go to bed tomorrow night at an earlier time because I stayed up so late tonight. So start seeing it as a required maintenance regimen for a thriving life. And I've got some research I want to share with you. According to a 2024 report in Frontiers in Psychology, even micro rest practices like 5-minute breathing breaks or silent pauses can help regulate cortisol levels and increase emotional resilience. The American Institute of Stress found that taking regular active rest breaks during periods of high cognitive load increases productivity, creativity, and emotional regulation. I'm going to have a guest on my podcast next week, Jim Laird, and he's going to talk about breathing and how important it is to breathe the right way. He's going to demonstrate that. If you are on our YouTube channel, you can see how he's demonstrating that by using a balloon. He also talks about putting your tongue in the top of your mouth and how you can help regulate your breathing that way as well. A 2023 Harvard Business Review study emphasized that slowing down, whether through sleep, solitude, or silence, is a strategic advantage for leaders and professionals. It's not just personal, it's powerful. It's a power move. According to the CDC and the Sleep Foundation, deep sleep is the body's most effective mode of repair, supporting everything from immune function to memory consolidation to skill cell regeneration. Our bodies are doing so much when we're sleeping at night. So don't deprive your body of that time to rest and repair. It's so critical, and it's why we wake up looking more rested when we get sleep. And being more rested after true uninterrupted sleep cycles is going to be so good for our bodies. There's also more research-backed ways to recover and slow down. Number 1, rhythmic rest. Create rituals that promote calm. Consistent sleep times, slow morning routines, and midday nature walks signal your body that you're safe and you can let go. Intentional silence, just 5 to 10 minutes of uninterrupted silence daily can lower stress hormones and increase mental clarity. So if you are somebody who stacks meetings all in the same day, make sure that you're being mindful about giving yourself 5 to 10 minutes in between each meeting just to have a reset. And if you can have more time in between meetings, that's great. But you got to start thinking about habit stacking too, and thinking about ways to build in that self-care throughout your day if you've got a lot of meetings and a lot of to-dos going on in your day. And that means no phone, no input, just being still. Use this time as a buffer between tasks or meetings. Also, creative flow. Rest can look like gentle, joyful engagement. Bake something, doodle, those coloring books that you can get. I've got one right here on my desk. I've actually got a whole stack of them. But there's all these, you can get these on Amazon. They have these coloring books. Got my sons a bunch of animals and insect ones. There's all kinds out there. And they're fun, and they've got so many details that you can go purchase gel pens at the local store and go to town in these adult coloring books. And it just gives you time for your mind to unwind. And you can also think about journaling, gardening. Any of these activities are going to help you quiet your overactive mind while keeping your spirit nourished. So I think I'm going to pull out the gel pens after this podcast and do some coloring. Why slowing down is a power move. It teaches your body and brain how to regulate themselves without constant external input, right? It models healthy boundaries and nervous system care for your family, your colleagues, and your kids. So you're modeling how you want them to take care of themselves. I want to be that mom who is showing my kids that I'm not work all the time. And, they've been seeing me do a lot of extra resting this week. And I've even napped on the couch twice this week. And that is not like me. I don't even do that on the weekends. But I am taking the time and taking advantage of this time off that I have right now in the summer to really unwind and take time for myself and rest. And it restores your energy so that when you do need to move fast, you're sharp, you're steady, and you're grounded, right? And ready to go. Remember, summer is not a vacation from purpose. It's a sacred window to come back to yourself. Rest doesn't mean you're lazy. I think that's another thing we need to deprogram ourselves from. Rest does not mean that we're being lazy. It means that we're being intentional and wise. It means that we're prioritizing our nervous system and our joy and our longevity. I'm going to say that again. Rest does not mean you're lazy. It means you're wise. Slowing down is how we speed up with clarity. And I hope that if you're listening to this podcast, that the title got you here, but that you're staying for the message and this is resonating with you. Try building a slow practice this week. Maybe it's a device-free morning or a daily nap or watching the clouds with your favorite drink. What I'm liking right now is going outside and sitting on my back porch and watching the birds. I think the older we become, maybe the more in tune with nature and bird watching we might be, but I'm picking up on all kinds of bird calls, and I swear I think that there is a nightingale. I'm gonna have to look it up. I think there's this bird that's been waking me up in the mornings because I've been trying to sleep till the sun comes up, but I swear there's this bird that keeps chirping these last couple of mornings at like 5 a.m. And I'm wondering if it's because the moon is almost full. I think it's going to be full tomorrow night. And so I don't know if it thinks it's already daytime and the moon's out, but that bird is definitely waking me up a little earlier than I want to be. But it's still nature and it's getting my circadian rhythm back online. So try building that slow practice in this week and let me know how it goes. It's not about perfect practice, right? It's about the pause. And I'm hoping that when you pull in at least one of these strategies, or you think of something else that you've been meaning to do and you're going to try it, could be yoga, Pilates, stretching. Maybe you want to do a little meditation or prayer. If you're somebody who wants to pull out scripture and look at it, review it, think about it, journal about it. Whatever you want to do to be more mindful and slow down your practice, build it into your day, make it a priority, and then check in and see how you feel. Track it for a week, every morning or every evening, wherever you make time and prioritize that self-care routine. Then think about how you feel the next day. And do you want to keep doing that? And make time and make it a priority and keep doing that. And the more you do and the more you reflect, the more you're going to continue to do what's good for you. And that self-care is going to become routine, and you're going to be on autopilot and you're not even going to think about it anymore. You're just going to do it because it's what's natural and it's what you need. Just like brushing your teeth or getting ready for bed or getting ready in the morning. It's just going to become part of your routine every day. So that's it for today's episode of the Go Slow to Go Fast Lifestyle Podcast. But I would definitely love to hear from you about what you are doing to incorporate some self-care slow rolling so you have time in your day to make that power move make sense for you. And I want to know what's bringing you rest this week. What does slowing down look like for you this summer if you're in the Northern Hemisphere? And what does it look like for you this winter if you're in the Southern Hemisphere? I want to hear from you no matter where you are in the world. Let me know. Let's keep the conversation going. I'm going to put all my contact information in the show notes, but you can always check me out on my website, Coaching with Kendra Chapman. And you can email me, coachingwithkendrachapman@gmail.com, or visit me on Instagram at Coaching with Kendra Chapman. I want to know what's going on with you. Tag me in your refresh journey. Let me know what your cozy, calm moment looks like. I'd love to know your version of intentional living and slowing down. So let's walk through this season together, whatever season you're in, with confidence and purpose and a little extra grace. And if you've loved this episode and if something resonated with you, I hope that you'll consider sharing it with a friend or everybody you know who needs a little permission slip to slow down. We're better when we rest well. And so I hope you remember to go slow to go fast, stay connected, be intentional, and embrace the season you're in. Because the light in me honors the light in you. And as you head into the rest of your week, let your light shine through. Thanks for listening.